welcome to TechRaptor's day one at E3. This is our day one recap. We all got to go around and play some cool games, see a lot of cool stuff, meet a lot of cool people, and we are just going to hit that now and kind of recap our experiences. James was going to tell us about what he saw first, so James?
Well, one thing that was really interesting is that the fact that E3 has not only one media center, but also a separate newsroom, and that latter part is where I actually spend a lot of my time viewing the Nintendo digital event and the Square Enix press conference. And I have to tell you, the first one, I don't think a lot of people expected what happened today. I mean, it was just a total bomb. Someone on the show floor pretty much explained it the best way. Every announcement Nintendo made, it would be, yay! And then they'd actually kind of show what it was, and everyone would be, no! Why? A good example of this was the Animal Crossing board game thing. Basically, let's just say Animal Crossing Party. When they first showed, when it first we saw, Isabelle walking, we thought, oh my gosh, it's Animal Crossing Wii U. And everyone's cheering, and then as soon as we saw the game board, the cheering stopped.
Wow.
And that was pretty much
So they just missed
pattern.
the target every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there wasn't really anything there. The best way to say it is, once they were spending 15 minutes on Star Fox Zero, a lot of people predicted, okay, this is going to be a disappointing press conference. Because, in the past, last year, you didn't spend more than 5 minutes on any title.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact they were spending 15 minutes, which ended up being a third of their presentation on one title, I don't know what to say to that.
All right. Well, that sounds like a rough morning, but since, the press conference, everyone could have watched the press conference from home.
Yeah.
What about on the floor? What's your favorite thing that you guys found on the floor today in your wanderings and meetings you had? What do you think, Tanis?
I didn't see a whole lot. I was actually stuck in the Nintendo lines forever.
Those are long lines.
For some reason, all of their demos are incredibly long, so everyone takes 10, 15, 20 minutes. So all I really played was Yoshi's Woolly World.
And how was that?
It's actually pretty fun.
Fun. Okay.
It's kind of one of those games where you co-op with a friend and you totally screw them over constantly, even when you don't mean to, because you can eat each other and turn them into eggs, and then when you shoot eggs, you can also hit them.
Wow.
So you kind of mess each other over constantly, even if you don't want to.
Wow. Sounds fun.
It is fun, and then the art style of the game with all the yarn and stuff looks really cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Nintendo's never shied away from finding a way to innovate, find a way of innovating how to hate your friends more. But I have to concur with you with the lines, especially with Nintendo, because I actually tried a few games on the show floor, and Nintendo was the only real publisher that had such long lines. I waited for over an hour just to play Star Fox Zero, which was a fun game, but it was basically Star Fox 64 too. And then I went to go play Ratchet & Clank, the PS4 game, and there was basically no line.
Yeah.
And part of that was because they had 8 stands going up for Ratchet & Clank, but they had more than 8 stands going up for Star Fox as well. So, I don't know what to say there. But yeah, I actually really liked some of the stuff I tried out on the show floor. I tried out Lost Dimension at Atlas's booth, and I also tried out Legend of Legacy, and both of those were pretty good RPGs. I actually was kind of surprised at some of the depth that Lost Dimension had. You can actually defer your turns from one character to another. So if you have it's kind of like domino effect. You set up because if you have party members that are close enough to an enemy, they could attack them, and then you attack with a party member, they'll attack as well. So what you can end up happening, especially on a really tough enemy, you can have 4 people together, all aimed at the boss, and then you defer a turn, and it's 4 hits.
Nice.
Really cool. And Legend of Legacy was kind of an old school RPG. They described it as a kind of saga-like game, and I definitely could see what they were talking about there. It was pretty simple, but it was also very comfy, if that's a way to describe a game. And the art style was certainly something that I could definitely get behind.
Yeah, so I played a little bit of Street Fighter V. They had a really cool setup. out there. They had some live actors on a stage that were taking pictures of people dressed up like a lot of the roster. No, I don't want that to go out there just now. But I did play the game. Really short roster for the demo. Birdie is in it. He's back from Street Fighter Alpha. I got ruined because everyone is picking Ryu. And I could only half remember how to play Birdie. But that was really cool. We got to see a lot of stuff from Focus, which was really cool. Technomancer looked awesome. The Warhammer games looked awesome. I really am looking forward to that stuff for sure.
Yeah, I gotta say, for me, like, I didn't get to go wandering around too much on the floor, but the Focus booth was just hands down, like, great demos from the developers who were there. One of them was kind of hard to understand, like the super French one. The second guy, he did a Space Hulk dev. That dev was really hard to understand, but the games looked amazing. They looked like they were actually fun. And Battlefleet Gothic Armada was just, I like StarCraft 2 a lot, and afterwards I was like, forget StarCraft 2, I got to play this.
Shots fired.
And it was, it looked brilliant. I was just like, that is an amazing looking game.
Well, man, I'm going to have to see what Focus
it's cool.
I think they had a lot of stuff on the Unreal 4.
Yeah, they were all Unreal 4, and Technomancer was on their own proprietary engine. Spider had their Silk something engine, which also looked great.
Silk or something.
Yeah, something.
James, you saw the Phantom Pain.
No, I didn't. I just said.
He noticed it was playing, and then we left. So he didn't stick around for that.
I thought that was
Yeah.
Well, it seems like that
We
most
also
of
played Disgaea and Rodea and
Yeah, NIS America, you guys had a lot of hands-on
yeah,
time.
we had about 40 minutes of hands-on time with NIS America, and they had a couple games to show off, and all of them were really good, actually. Like, I was really surprised with the Rodea the Sky Soldier. And I think their explanation for what type of game it is pretty spot on. It's basically Knights mixed with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, but the good parts of Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, it's got a lot of platforming in there, but not in the way you expect. But it's also like, it just takes a while to get used to the controls. But once you do, you're just gliding through the levels, and it's so fun. Oh my gosh. Definitely a game to be looking out for. And Disgaea 5, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I've never played a Disgaea game before, but
You
it's
never
definitely...
played one.
Oh, okay.
But Tanis here has.
So
Yes.
she brought
I have
in
too.
something about
Yeah.
how it compares
I
to
have.
this.
It's very similar to what you're used to, of course. But they've added a bunch of things. There's new classes. There's one that's a zombie nurse, or it was a zombie maid, I think, because she was telling me, or he was telling me that the director writes the games, and he's really into horror movies. So there tend to be a lot of like references to that kind of thing. And then they added a revenge system, which is basically when people take damage, your revenge meter goes up, and when it gets to a certain point, you can use it, and it'll power you up, and that kind of thing. And there's a whole bunch of other things that they've added.
So it's looking promising, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, it
NIS
looks
America.
like another one to put another 800 hours into or whatever, you know.
Oh god, that grinds you up.
That's the kind of game they make.
Oh man, like if you are into Disgaea, there's no reason not to play this new one because it looks like
Well, what about
right up your alley. Danganronpa, it's very different to the other two. It's more of a it's not it's a cross between a shooter and a brawler kind of thing. It's sort of a third person action game, but because the series is from a series of text-based games, the narrative is still there. There's still a lot of story. So it's sort of like story broken up with action segments. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to play that because it seems to have spun off the second game, and I want to know what happens.
Cool. So today was a busy day,
Yeah.
basically. We ran around a lot. We were a little late getting here. We had fun. Tomorrow's even bigger.
Yeah,
oh god,
big day
tomorrow's
tomorrow.
the big day.
Yeah.
2K games, Xseed. Focus again. I think. Oh, Bandai Namco.
Oh god,
for
2 hours of Bandai and
that
Namco. And you better believe we're going to be playing Dark Souls 3.
I hope so.
Oh, man,
That was probably their AAA unannounced title that they mentioned.
Oh,
Probably.
definitely.
So, yeah. So I guess anything else you guys want to add?
Well, we're going to be asking Kenichiro Takaki a bunch of questions.
Got an interview with him.
Yeah. If you guys, I mean, I don't know when this is going to go up, but if it goes up before tomorrow, definitely leave whatever questions you want us to ask below.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Check out TechRaptor.net for all the writings from our writers who are not here at the convention, and which is a lot of them. They're all following the happenings.
And don't be fooled. They're probably doing just as much, if not more, work than we are.
Definitely.
I read that they've put out like 100 articles in the last 2 days. So yeah, give them some love too.
It's a good place to find your TechRaptor news.
Yeah.
And don't forget their Twitter.
Oh yeah, and
At
Twitter
TechRaptor.
follows at TechRaptor. Is it missing an
It's
E?
it's at TechRaptor, but there's no O.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
At the end, so TechRaptor.
Yeah, you got
Okay,
it.
there you go.
That's it.
And also
them
check
on
out our
Twitter.
Instagram. It's one with only 32 followers.
Yeah, Instagram is little. We'll post more pictures on there tomorrow as well.
Anyways, we will see you guys tomorrow and also Thursday. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time viewing our coverage.
Nailed it.